Hello everyone. I thought in view of what is going on right now, I thought it's best that I give a full account of myself and what has been going on in my life of late. For the last 1 month, I've been traveling extensively through some of the highest risk areas for COVID-19. I'd gone to over 9 cities of the US, including most cities in the East Coast and Las Vegas, and the Midwest as well. And these were all really hard hit areas. I'd gone to Iceland, Amsterdam, as well as France. I left the US just when it was shutting down on the 16th. I did a couple of days in Amsterdam. Then after that, I decided to connect to Paris, hang out with my family for 2 days, and then we'll connect back home on the 21st, I believe. Sadly, all international outbound flights from France were not allowed out in as well, and inbound flights at home was not allowed in, and after that, the airport was shut down altogether. So I positioned to remain here. When that happened, that was slightly distressing news for me. I know Paris is like my third home, aside, of course, my home, Nigeria, as well as the US. But I didn't want to stay here because there were so many variables that were being dealt with at that point regarding COVID-19. I didn't want to be caught outside Nigeria dealing with all that. So what I did was what is, well, traditional of me. I sat down and embarked on certain, maneuvers, as it were, to certain processes to embark on a coping mechanism to deal with this. But it dawned on me soon after that, of course, no pun intended, we're here to speak our truth given the situation at hand. I thought it was best that I'm in a country where, given the worst case scenario, if things go west, I beg your pardon, given the worst case scenario, if things go south, I prefer to be somewhere in the west where at least whatever health concerns I would have, I know I'll be in the best hands. So I stayed back and did the responsible thing of me and quarantined. I did a self-quarantine for 14 days. As at yesterday, or day before yesterday rather, I was given a clean bill of health and my family were allowed to come and see me. But other than that, I did the proper thing, stayed indoors, went through the process, went through the motion, and then came out at the end of the tunnel, with a clean bill of health. So I decided today, for friends and family and associates that are wondering where I've been for the last couple of weeks, I'm fine, I'm doing well, everything is on point. My family is doing okay as well. But you see, within the 2 weeks I stayed indoors, it got me thinking of what is really going on. Taking a rather different approach, a rather different perspective, looking at it through the prism of someone that is involved in it directly, and someone that's been around the highest risk areas as well. And it gave me a lot of grave concerns. I never thought, not in my lifetime at least, that the day will come where, the city of light and Paris will be will be a ghost town, will be a ghost city. I live in the suburbs of France, of Paris, and I mean every day when I'm out, I take a walk by the lake, the pass, say hi to neighbors, exchange a few pleasantries, but it's just amazing. It's just a thing of of wonder that even that I haven't. Whenever I come out to take my walk, I don't run into anybody. It brings home more than anything else what is really going on. So in 2 weeks I've thought about it. What is going on really? I've heard it being said around certain quarters that this is not a black man's disease. I'm ashamed to say it. I've been part of that conversation. I've even said it myself many times over that this was not meant for people of our race. It's such an irresponsible thing to say, such an ignorant thing to say, and I would like to apologize for it profusely, because I don't know where it spurts from. Truthfully, I don't know. This virus doesn't choose sides. This is happening on a global scale that we might witness once in a lifetime, and it bears no consequence who you are. The so-called 1% that they say is exempted from this, it's such a misnomer, it's a fallacy, because the chores that the so-called 1% does not do for themselves is undertaken by people from the middle class and the poor backgrounds as well. Your nannies, your chauffeurs, your the drivers and everything. It is what it is. There's no exemption here. Whether you play partisan politics, or you're liberal, or you're an independent, it doesn't matter where you stand in life. It bears no consequence. Your creed, religion, class, status, race, or gender. It really doesn't count anymore. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in your account, or you have 50 naira in your account. It still doesn't hold any water at present. The people that have passed as a result of this devastation is not. You're not any better than them. Yes, we mourn them. Memories. The question now remains: why is this going on? And everybody has come on social media and has done literally overnight to a philosopher. I hate to sound cliche, and I hate to do what everybody's doing. It really is not my stock in trade. It's not my cup of tea. But I just felt at this point that I had to add my voice, to link credence to this argument. Truthfully, when I picture the scenario before us, I look at it like everybody is on this autobahn. We all know what an autobahn is. It's basically, it's basically where you get on and in a fast car and race your heart content without speed limits. That's what I think everybody's doing. Everybody is on a fast-paced pursuit of some sort for something. Whether it's relationships, our career, our personal goals, everybody is on a race for something, a high-speed pursuit of something, irrespective, not taking into cognizance who is beside or behind us, the driver in front of us. We're just in a fast-paced race to get there first before everyone else. It's also in the media, in the news. It's not called the now news, I believe, where it's not a question of verification or research anymore. It's a question of who gets it out first. Everybody's on a fast pace. And so God decided to slow us down, every one of us. And I think that's what's going on right now, where of a divine manufacture, we're all stuck in this traffic jam, if you will. We're in this traffic jam now where we're forced to re-engage our gear from the race gear from the speed gear to the neutral. And now we're forced to take cognizance of the driver